Hey guys, back with another video, and honestly, the AI space just does not know how to take a day off. Today is stacked. We have Meta finally making good on their open source comeback promise with a brand new local Agentic model, Microsoft jumping all the way to number 2 in image generation, Grok 4.6 looking like it might actually drop today after the cursor leaks, and Z.ai going absolutely nuclear on pricing with a 95% slash. There's a lot to unpack, and I'm going to go through every single one of these properly because this is the kind of day that actually moves the needle for people who run local models, people who care about cost, and people who just want the best tools right now. Let's start with the biggest open source move of the week because Mark Zuckerberg is back on his open weights era, and this time it feels real. Meta just released Muse Glimmer. This is a 30 billion parameter dense model, open weights under Apache 2.0, and it is specifically built to run locally as an actual agent, not just a chat model that you throw prompts at. This thing is designed to plan, use tools, check its own work, recover when it fails, and keep going. Meta is saying it can run on roughly 24 gigabytes of VRAM without falling apart on agentic reliability, which is the important part. A lot of smaller models claim they can run locally and then completely fall over the second you ask them to do multi-step work with tools. Muse Glimmer is being positioned as the model that actually stays useful while living on your own machine. I have been testing local agent setups for a while now, and the efficiency story is what stands out first. In one of these side-by-side tests, people have been running the same kind of visual generation and agent task that took the Qwen 3.6 27 billion parameter model around 11,500 tokens and roughly 600 seconds on a Mac Studio. Muse Glimmer finished in about 5,000 tokens in 300 seconds. That is basically half the tokens and twice as fast. Now, the visual quality from Qwen is still clearly ahead. In a lot of cases, I am not going to pretend otherwise, but for pure local agent work, where you care about how many tokens you burn and how long you wait, Glimmer is sitting in a really interesting efficiency zone. It is not trying to be the absolute smartest model on the planet. It is trying to be the model you can actually leave running on your own hardware without feeling like you need a data center. Meta's own numbers claim it beats Gemma 431 billion across a bunch of benchmarks and even edges out Qwen 3.627 billion in several categories. From the testing I have seen and done myself, Qwen still wins more often on pure coding quality, front-end work, and tool calling reliability in longer sessions. But the gap is not massive, and when you factor in the token efficiency and the fact that this is a proper open Apache 2.0 release that you can run locally, Muse Glimmer suddenly becomes very attractive for a lot of people. Zuckerberg also confirmed that the weights for Muse Spark 1.2 are coming soon as well. So this is not a one and done. Meta is signaling they are actually coming back to the open model game after a period where a lot of people thought they had stepped away. And look, I personally think the timing is not random. Alibaba has been cooking with the Qwen series, and the Qwen 3.8 27 billion parameter model has been the one everyone has been watching. Meta dropping a strong 30 billion open agentic model right now feels like a preemptive move. Get something solid into the hands of local users and developers before the next Qwen wave hits and potentially resets the midsize open model conversation again. Whether that strategy works long term remains to be seen, but the signal is clear. Meta wants to be relevant in the open weight space again, and Muse Glimmer is the first real proof of that this cycle. Moving on to image generation, because Microsoft just made a serious statement. Their new MAI Image 2.6 model dropped on the Arena leaderboard and immediately landed at number 2 overall in text to image. That is not a small jump. Just a day earlier, Grok Imagine Image 2.0 was sitting in that number 2 spot, and now Microsoft has taken it. The model is showing big gains across the board, especially in text rendering, portraits, three-dimensional work, and commercial-style imagery. For a company that a lot of people still treat as the underdog in pure generative image quality, this is a very strong result. Number 2 overall is not pretty good for Microsoft. Number 2 overall is competitive with the absolute top of the leaderboard. I have been looking at the generations people are posting, and the consistency is noticeable. Text and images is cleaner, the commercial product shots look more production ready, and the creative range feels wider than the previous MAI versions. If you're someone who generates a lot of visuals for work or content, this is worth testing immediately. Microsoft has been quietly stacking improvements, and 2.6 is the first time it feels like they have a genuine top-tier contender rather than a solid mid-pack option. The fact that it jumped past Grok Imagine so quickly also shows how fast these leaderboards are moving right now. One strong release and the entire ranking shifts. Now the one a lot of you have been waiting for, Grok 4.6. It is starting to show up in Cursor. Multiple people have seen Cursor Grok 4.6 high, and earlier versions labeled fast appear in the model picker. Some of those sightings got pulled quickly, which is classic early rollout behavior, but the fact that it is appearing at all means the model is close enough that the systems are already wired for it. Cursor employees have been posting the kind of vague good day to ship messages that usually mean something is about to go live. Elon had originally pointed at around August 7th for the release. That date slipped a bit while they finished the final supervised fine-tuning and reinforcement learning on the 1.5 trillion parameter base. But the Cursor activity today is the strongest signal we have had that a wider rollout could be happening very soon, possibly even today. If you have been waiting for the next Grock jump for coding and agent work, stay close to this channel because the second it is fully available, I will be running the full prompt sheet and publishing the results. The early signs are strong enough that this could be one of the more important model releases of the month. Finally, we have to talk about the pricing war because Z.ai just went nuclear. They have slashed the prices on their top GLM models by 95%. 95. That is not a small promotional discount. That is a complete reset of the cost structure. This is clearly a response to the success DeepSeek had with their aggressive pricing on the Flash models. Z.ai is trying to recreate that momentum and force the rest of the market to react. On top of the model price cuts, they are also resetting the rates on their Z-code coding plan after reportedly crossing 1 million users. When a company hits that kind of user milestone and immediately makes the product dramatically cheaper, it tells you they are playing for volume and mind share rather than short-term margin. For anyone who has been paying full price for strong coding models, this changes the math completely. A 95% reduction means you can run significantly more volume for the same budget, or the same volume for almost nothing. Combined with the open weights options that keep appearing, the cost of high quality inference is collapsing faster than most people expected. We are watching the pricing floor get rewritten in real time, and Z.ai just dropped one of the heaviest hammers yet, so to pull it all together. Meta is back in the open agentic game with Muse Glimmer, a 30 billion parameter model that actually runs locally and is efficient enough to be practical. They are clearly trying to get ahead of the next Qwen 27 billion class release. Microsoft just took the number 2 spot in text-to-image with MAI Image 2.6 and forced everyone to take their image models seriously. Again, Grok 4.6 is leaking into Cursor and looks like it could go fully live any moment now. And Z.ai decided the best way to compete is to make their strongest models almost free. This is the kind of day that reminds you how fast the entire stack is moving. Local models are getting more capable, image generation is getting more competitive, frontier models are still pushing, and the price of intelligence keeps falling. I will have a full dedicated video on Grok 4.6 the moment the full release is confirmed, including the coding benchmarks and agent tests. Links to everything I mentioned, including Muse Glimmer, the arena rankings, and the new Z.ai pricing will be in the description. If you want to stay ahead of these drops, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on because the release cadence right now is ridiculous. Join the Discord if you want early access discussions and the free tool subscriptions we share there. Follow me on Twitter for the real-time updates between videos. And as always, if this was useful, leave a like so the algorithm actually shows it to more people who care about this stuff. That is everything for today. The open source race is heating up again, image generation just got more interesting, Grock is on the verge, and the pricing wars are getting brutal in the best way possible. Have an amazing day, keep building, and I will see you in the next one very soon.